talking online through social media. And then we started talking on the phone, and
It's hard to imagine a family as famous as the Browns, with all their secrets and struggles, suddenly facing a moment that changes everything. But that's exactly what happened. One day, the walls of trust that held this family together came crashing down, and the fallout was more explosive than anyone could have predicted. Picture this: years of shared lives, marriages, heartbreak, and hope, all thrown into chaos by a single revelation. The air was thick with tension, and for the first time, the future of the Brown family felt completely uncertain. Hi friends, I'm Halen, and you're watching TLC's Sister Wives Recaps. If you've ever wondered what really happens when loyalty is tested and secrets come to light, you're in the right place. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments, whose side are you on after everything that's come out? Because today, we're diving into the most shocking chapter yet. Robyn, Meri, Janelle, Christine, and Cody, all at the center of a storm that will leave none of them the same. This isn't just another family fight. This is the moment the truth finally breaks through, and nothing will ever be the same again. Before everything exploded, the Browns had already weathered more storms than most families could handle. Their journey started with a dream of unity, one big blended family, living out their faith and building a legacy together. But anyone who's watched Sister Wives knows that dream was always complicated. Trust was the glue, but it was also the first thing to crack when things got tough. Over the years, we saw the cracks widen. Meri's catfishing scandal was a turning point. That betrayal didn't just hurt her marriage to Cody, it sent shockwaves through every relationship in the family. Suddenly, everyone was questioning who they could trust, and old wounds started to resurface. Then came the divorces. Christine was the first to walk away, and her decision sent a message: you don't have to stay if you're not respected. Janelle followed. And even Meri, who had always tried to hold on, eventually let go. Each split shifted the balance of power, and the family's foundation grew shakier with every season. Through it all, Robyn's influence quietly grew. She came in as the fourth wife, but over time she became the one Cody leaned on most. She was the only legal wife after Meri divorced Cody, so he could marry Robyn and adopt her kids. That legal status gave her a unique position, and she used it to take on more responsibility, especially with the family's finances. At first, it seemed practical. Robyn was organized, and Cody trusted her. But as the years went by, more and more of the family's money and assets ended up in accounts with her name on them. The other wives started to feel sidelined, but by then, Robyn's grip on the purse strings was almost complete. No one realized just how much power she had, until it was too late. It started with a whisper, the kind of rumor you almost want to ignore because it sounds too wild to be true. But then, out of nowhere, an audio recording surfaced online. Suddenly, the entire Sister Wives fandom was buzzing. The clip was short, but the voice was unmistakable. Robyn, talking about a huge money transfer, her words quick and nervous. She mentioned moving hundreds of thousands of dollars, brushing off the need for Cody or anyone else to know the details. The internet lit up. Fans started sharing the audio everywhere, dissecting every word, and the Brown family's private business was now public scandal. Inside the family, the reaction was instant and raw. Janelle was the first to hear it. She sat in her Arizona rental, laptop open, her son Gabe by her side. The look on her face said it all: shock, then anger, then a kind of cold determination. Janelle had always been the practical one, the steady hand with the family's finances. Hearing Robyn's voice so casual about moving money that belonged to all of them was a gut punch. She replayed the audio, her hands shaking, and you could see the realization hit. This wasn't just a misunderstanding. This was a betrayal. Meri found out next. She'd been through so much already. Catfishing, heartbreak, feeling like an outsider. But this was different. When Janelle called her, Meri's first reaction was disbelief. She wanted to believe there was some explanation, some mistake. But as the details came out, the shock turned to hurt. Years of trying to rebuild trust, only to find out that Robyn had been making moves behind everyone's back. Christine, always the one to speak her mind, didn't even look surprised. She'd seen the signs for years: Robyn's growing control, the way decisions were made without the rest of them. On social media, Christine's posts were pointed and clear. She was done being silent. Fans rallied behind her, sharing their own outrage and heartbreak. The sense of betrayal wasn't just inside the family. The fallout was immediate and impossible to contain. The next time the wives were together, the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. Janelle, who usually kept her emotions in check, didn't hold back. She looked Robyn straight in the eye and asked the question everyone was thinking. Why did you move that money without telling us? There was no sugarcoating it. Janelle's voice was steady, but you could hear the pain underneath. She'd spent years trying to keep the family's finances fair, only to find out she'd been left in the dark. Meri, who had always tried to keep the peace, finally let her guard down. She told Robyn, "I trusted you. After everything we've been through, I thought we were rebuilding." Her voice cracked, and for a moment, you could see just how much this hurt. Meri had been on the outside before, but this time it felt like a final blow. She wasn't just losing money, she was losing the last bit of trust she had left. Christine, never one to mince words, called it what it was. "You took from all of us. You made decisions for the whole family, but you only protected yourself." She didn't yell, but her words landed hard. Christine had always been the one to challenge the status quo, and now, with the truth out, she wasn't holding back. Cody's reaction was a mix of anger and disbelief. He confronted Robyn, asking if she really thought she could handle everything on her own. "You told me you were just organizing things," he said, his voice tight. "I trusted you. I didn't read every document. I believed you were doing what was best for all of us." For once, Cody wasn't defending Robyn. He was just as blindsided as the rest. For the first time in years, the other wives found themselves united. The old rivalries and resentments faded into the background. Now, it was about standing up for themselves and their kids. The lines were drawn, and Robyn was on her own. The family that once prided itself on unity was now split. But this time, the unity was among those who had been left behind. After the confrontations, it became clear that talking things out wasn't going to fix what had been broken. The trust was gone, and the stakes were too high for anyone to just let it go. Janelle and Meri, both known for trying to keep the peace in the past, made a decision that shocked even longtime fans. They were going to court. This wasn't just about money anymore. It was about accountability, about finally standing up for themselves after years of feeling sidelined. The decision didn't come lightly. On the show, you could see the weight of it in their faces. Janelle, always practical, said it best. "We have to protect what's left for our kids. We can't just let this go." The legal process was grueling. Cameras didn't follow them into every meeting, but the tension spilled over into their confessionals and social media posts. Meri posted about the importance of truth and transparency, while Janelle shared her frustration over how long it took to get answers. Fans watched as the family's private pain became public, with every new court date bringing more headlines and speculation. In the courtroom, the atmosphere was tense. Robyn arrived with her lawyer, looking nothing like the confident woman viewers had seen in earlier seasons. She was quiet, withdrawn, and clearly feeling the pressure. The evidence was damning. Bank statements, emails, and digital signatures all pointed to a pattern. Money moved from shared accounts into ones controlled only by Robyn. There were documents with Cody's electronic signature, but when questioned, he admitted on camera and in court that he hadn't read them. He'd trusted Robyn to handle things, and now he was realizing just how much he'd missed. Janelle took the stand and spoke with a calm, steady voice. She explained how the family's finances had always been a group effort, until Robyn started insisting on more control. She described the moment she realized something was wrong and how it felt to see years of savings disappear. Meri's testimony was emotional. She talked about the pain of betrayal, not just from Robyn, but from the system that allowed one person to have so much unchecked power. Robyn's defense started to crumble. Her lawyer argued that she was just trying to protect the family, that she took on the responsibility because no one else would. But the evidence was overwhelming. Christine's written statement, submitted as part of the case, described years of feeling excluded and manipulated. The judge listened, flipping through page after page of financial records, and it became clear that Robyn's story wasn't holding up. Robyn's public image took a nosedive almost overnight. Where she'd once been seen as the peacemaker or the favorite, now she was painted as the architect of the family's downfall. Memes and reaction videos popped up everywhere, with fans calling out her past statements about unity and trust. The family's reputation, already fragile from years of on-screen drama, took another hit. TLC stayed mostly silent, issuing only a brief statement about respecting the family's privacy, but the damage was done. For the Browns, there was no escaping the spotlight. Every move was scrutinized, every post analyzed for hidden meaning. The fallout wasn't just about money or legal battles, it was about the end of an era. The family that once invited viewers into their lives was now being picked apart by the same audience that had cheered them on for over a decade. When the judge finally delivered the decision, it felt like the end of a long, painful chapter for everyone involved. The courtroom was packed, but you could have heard a pin drop as the verdict was read. Robyn was found responsible for misusing community property funds and forging financial documents. The consequences were immediate and severe. The court ordered the liquidation of the family trust, which meant every property, including the homes in Flagstaff and Sedona, would be sold off. The proceeds would go back into the original family account, now managed by an independent trustee. No more single person in control, no more secrets. Robyn was given a deadline to vacate the house she'd once called her safe haven. The look on her face as she heard the order was a mix of disbelief and devastation. For years, she'd been the one with the keys, the one Cody trusted most. Now she was being told to pack up and leave, her name stripped from every account and business. The court even froze her personal assets until the full amount was repaid. It was a total reversal of fortune. And the cameras caught every moment of her stunned silence. Cody, who had always tried to keep the family together, looked completely lost. In his confessional, he admitted he never thought it would come to this. He said, "I trusted Robyn. I thought she was protecting us. Now I see how much I missed." The weight of regret was written all over his face. For the first time, he wasn't defending anyone. He was just another person picking up the pieces. Meri and Janelle, on the other hand, showed a different kind of emotion. Relief, yes, but also a quiet strength. Meri said, "I spent so many years doubting myself, thinking I was the problem. Now I know I wasn't crazy." Janelle echoed that, saying, "We finally have control over our own lives. We're not just surviving anymore, we're building something new." Their voices were steady, but you could see the emotion in their eyes. This wasn't about revenge. It was about reclaiming their power and protecting their kids' futures. Christine, watching from the sidelines, posted her support online. She said she was proud of Meri and Janelle for standing up and not letting fear win. The family dynamic had shifted for good. The old alliances were gone, replaced by a new sense of unity among those who had been left out for so long. The verdict didn't just end Robyn's control, it gave everyone else a chance to finally breathe. Looking back, it's clear this wasn't just a story about money or property. It was about trust, how easily it can be broken, and how hard it is to rebuild. The Browns spent years trying to hold their family together, sometimes at the cost of their own happiness. But when the truth finally came out, it forced everyone to face what they'd been avoiding for so long. Secrets don't stay buried forever, and when they surface, they change everything. For Meri, Janelle, and Christine, this chapter became a turning point. Instead of letting the past define them, they chose to start over. We've seen them step into new roles, supporting each other in ways they never could before. Janelle has talked about finding her own voice and making decisions for herself and her kids. Meri has opened up about rediscovering her self-worth, no longer willing to accept being sidelined. Christine, who was the first to walk away, has shown what it looks like to choose happiness, even when it's hard. Their journeys haven't been easy, but they're proof that healing is possible, even after the deepest betrayals. The future of the family is still uncertain, but there's a sense of hope that wasn't there before. The old patterns are gone, replaced by a new determination to protect what matters most. The kids are speaking up, the women are leading, and for the first time in a long time, it feels like real change is possible. I want to hear what you think. Do you believe the Browns can truly move forward after everything that's happened? Whose journey has inspired you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to TLC's Sister Wives Recaps for more.